Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, June 27th, 2024. It's a few hours before the first official presidential debate of 2024 between Mr. T and Mr. B. And so I know that's got everybody's attention, but there's something else that's been in the news recently that also has our attention, and I thought I'd address it in this video. And that is the reported release of Julian Assange and his plea deal. You see, there's chatter, as there always is when there's a big event, and it's a mix of chatter. So I wanted to share with you a compilation that's got the official version of his life and the plea deal, and then some comments by an anon that I very much value. And then we're going to take a look at it and see if there's some truth to the chatter. And I'm not talking about the chatter that he's been compromised, because while that's possible, I'm going to wait and let the cards tell us if that's so. And you'll see as we go along what I'm talking about here. It's possible. Anything's possible in this plane of existence, but the universe will help us parse out what's possible and what is the likely answer. Okay, here we go to the share screen. If it interests you, follow the Facebook link that will be in the video description box. Hey, here's a recent photograph of Mr. Assange. And then I thought that this was a very good article about his life. So I've included a link of it. It's from the standard.co.uk. So there's his life, if you'd like to read a little about it, the official version of it. And then BBC.com, back when Julian Assange, if you recall, he spent several years pleading diplomatic immunity and getting sanctuary in the Ecuador embassy. So here's the story about how he was removed from that. Now, the anon I mentioned had this comment about it, okay? He, being Assange, was never in jail. When he was arrested and dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy in 2019, he was, in fact, rescued by the White Hats, and it was perfectly obvious and wonderful to witness. He would not have been able to survive 5 years in solitary confinement, 23 hours a day in a room 13 by 9 feet. This was one of the most impressive chapters of this massive sting operation. For me personally, it was also one of the most convincing proofs that the White Hats did in fact exist and that they did do what had to be done. I'm very happy that it's now official and he doesn't have to hide anymore, but he will still have to lie for a bit until the real truth will be told. That anon finished up with another comment that said this: let us be happy about his quote unquote release, because this is a major step forward. So what I'd like to do is ask the universe if not this recent alt media chatter about Mr. Assange being compromised, but if the chatter that Mr. Assange was rescued by the White Hats in 2019 has truth and validity to it, plus other insights and information the universe wants us to know. Now, if there's no truth to that, I'll be happy to take a second look at the other chatter. But let's start with this chatter, because that always felt true to me, that he had been, in fact, rescued from that embassy by the White Hats, who have taken a number, hundreds of notable people out of harm's way. But at some point, we have to resolve those storylines in ways that the public can accept, and then correct them slightly once disclosures start. Let's see if that's what's going on here with this chatter, that he was never really in prison there. Let's find out. I'm going to switch the camera. You can watch me work with the cards, and we'll see what they have to say at the same time together. So, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Alt media chatter says that he never had to go to prison, that he was actually, in fact, rescued from that embassy in 2019. I'd like to know if there's truth to that assertion, plus other insights and information the universe wants us to know. Okay, our first card is a strength card. Then the Knight of Swords. So we've already got a white hat element showing up in this read. King of Swords. You don't need me to read these cards to you, do you? Six of Cups. Three of Cups. Seven of Wands. And Ace of Cups. We got our hard yes that there's truth to that story. Absolutely, but we've already had it showing up. Let me show you what I'm getting here, okay? And then we'll get a few extra insights about the situation. First of all, we had a major arcana show up with the strength card for the question we're asking. And the strength card is just that. It is about that fortitude and strength that's infinite, and also places equal value on innocent life. And there's trust. It's just a beautiful card. Beautiful card, the strength card. Now, clarifying that the situation is well in hand and it's been lovingly handled is the Knight of Swords, which is one of my white hat cards again. So the white hats were involved with the fact that there is strength and all the good things that this card indicates for Mr. Assange. Why? Because in the recent past, the white hearts, I call them, took action. And when they did, look, this card is about reconciliation and renewal and reunions. So Mr. Assange was reunited with those he loves, and it's been done in the past. It's also happening now publicly. And so that's good. There's truth to this rumor that he was indeed rescued in 2019 from the embassy, which kind of shoots out of the water any of the claims right now that he's been compromised or what have you. Now, I thought, it could be possible. Let's find out. I said that because he married an attorney in 2022 on this timeline. And I thought, well, he could have, he could be tied to his handler if that's the case. It does not seem to be the case. So we're not going to even worry about that, guys. Let's keep going. We got a yes, indeed, for this on the rescue in 2019. Okay, so, and this card, in the context of this question, is telling us we can, again, as my commenter said, that for him it was a validation that the white hats would do what it took to get the job done, that they had the, not just the means, the motive, but the means to do it. We can celebrate. This is a red letter event. Okay, now, near future also shows that there's more events that are coming up in regards to Mr. Assange. He's got the high ground in dealing with them, absolutely. So he doesn't really have a lot to worry about. And then besides being a hard yes, the Ace of Cups is a card of potential for emotional fulfillment, and it's creativity. So he's going to be free to follow his path, whether that is continuing the WikiLeaks work that he's done or another creative endeavor. That's kind of up to him, okay? All right. Ooh, we got some interesting cards here for our further insights and information. The Three of Swords and then the Four of Swords tells us, first of all, there's some information about Mr. Assange that they cannot be shared with us yet at this time. And some of that information may be that we are looking at a double who is playing the part of the released Mr. Assange. Now I say double rather than clone because clones aren't used by the white hats, and we have a lot of white hand indication with these cards here. So we may have a double appearing maybe for safety reasons or whatever's going on. Okay, and it's because there's some insights and information that just can't be shared at this time. And I always trust the universe to do that parsing out for us, and don't try to overstep myself. Let's get a couple more cards. See if we can get some final information here. Okay. Again, we've got a card here just telling us there's some, this is a card of being careful with your assets, being kind of frugal with your resources. It was decided that it was a good move to have Mr. Assange be played by a double in some instances. Possibly made that known as he flew to his plea bargain hearing so that he the original, would be safe. That's entirely possible because they know that there was some there was some shenanigans that were planned, temporary in nature. Okay, we got the temporary confirmation here at the 5. But part of this might have been to just keep the gentleman safe, because he has done a huge favor for humanity in releasing information, whether the US government liked it or not, about how there was a lot of systemic corruption and evil that was being done. So those WikiLeaks were powerful, powerful. That's why they dredged up an old law from 1917, I think it was, to try to charge him for that. Oh gosh. So anyway, there we have it. There is truth to the chatter that he was actually rescued from that embassy in 2019, and now he can go forward a little more publicly with his life and his career. To recap, there is and has been for a long time chatter in the alt media community that Julian Assange was never in prison in England, that was the cover story for the after party of his rescue by white hats from the Ecuadorian embassy. So I asked if that was true, because there's other newer rumors that are circulating about the gentleman now that he has a plea bargain struck and is supposedly out of prison. So I said, hey, let's look at that, because if that's true, we don't have to worry about these newer type of rumors that are going around. So we asked the universe, is there truth to that assertion that there was actually a rescue in 2019 of Julian Assange? We got a very emphatic yes for that, with the Ace of Cups showing up. Okay, and white hats were definitely involved with that. This is one of my white hat cards, and even stronger white hat card is the King of Swords, which showed up as the recent past. So yeah, they were part and parcel of getting him freed from that embassy, maybe forestalling because there had been chatter that he was in danger there. So the people whose toes he stepped on with his leaks and WikiLeaks, they were known to try to get retribution, and to discourage future people from stepping forward and stepping on toes. So this was a good way to tell the cabal, we value our warriors, and we're going to keep them safe, and too bad if you don't like what we did. So sad, too bad. Now we got a little further information that was kind of interesting, because this card shows up for me when there's doubles involved, and it showed up in the near future position, not a powerful near future position, but a near future. And it tells me that they are prepared to, and probably already have, had a double stand in for Mr. Assange, just to keep him safe, to keep the opposition off balance on, it's no sense whacking this one because, it's just a mask. So, and God bless those people that are willing to put themselves in positions of danger so that someone can be safe, so that confusion can be circulated and employed. Good for them. So, and God bless them. Not even just good for them, God bless them. So that's it for this video and our exploration into the release of Julian Assange. And the cards tell us that actually happened in 2019, but now we can kind of wrap up the storyline until such time as disclosures make further clarification, or the final clarification, possible. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and attention. If you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Now, one final thing. There is a phrase that is 100% true that says, energy flows where attention goes. Please be careful how much energy you give to the upcoming debate drama. Okay, I'm going to watch it too, but I'm going to try to keep my emotional contribution to a bare minimum, because it's a lot of drama and play acting in many cases. We know Mr. T, and he knows it too if we do. He's going into as uneven a playing field as someone can in a debate. And so I'm not going to get upset when they shenanigan their shenanigans. I'm going to pray that Mr. T and his family stay incredibly safe throughout this entire journey, and that things unfold for the best possible outcome as quickly as possible. And I'm putting my energy towards that outcome. Until next time, bye.